Hi everyone, it's been a busy week, but this week I've got a guest with me on the journey, and the journey is grown but day by day. Why? Because it's over 160 episodes and still growing, because why not? Everyone has a journey, and our guest today is no exception. They are a self-love and relationship expert with over a decade of professional counseling experience and originating from Ukraine, and that's not what the topic is about today, but I do understand it's very upsetting for some people, so we won't go into that. But we have worked, the guest has worked with clients from around the globe and are fluent in 5 languages. Their journey is taken from across continents, including 8 incredible years in France, where they managed a Monaco-based company focused on spiritual growth. Their participation in spiritual retreats in Bali, India, Sri Lanka, and other transformative locations has deepened their insights into personal development and self-discovery. There is more, and we will talk about her work as well, because I know she's done an amazing app, which I would recommend for anyone wanting to get it. It's available on, well, I'll let her tell us about that. But I welcome Iryna Wood to the journey.
David, thank you. Such a beautiful introduction.
It's okay.
I
I'm
always love
using
speaking
your
here.
words, what was on what you sent me, but I added a bit more to it because I wanted to make it unique. Yes,
Thank
your
you.
words are unique, but I wanted to add to the fact it's about a journey, and the journey is unique, and obviously, journey starts somewhere. So to get the journey started, tell us and if you want to talk about your upbringing in Ukraine, you can, but tell us your earliest memories that kick-started your journey.
Actually, I love so much that you use this word journey because I think that's the most valuable thing to be yourself during this journey. And this is our main focus to find out who we are, what we
Hmm.
want, our true needs, requests of our soul, our meaning, our mission on this planet. So I was always passionate and curious about that since my childhood. I was questioning the universe, what we are doing here, why, what for. I looked at all signs that universe has given us. I was kind of curious child, and when I was 13 years old, my parents um, gave me the best education because whenever our family had an opportunity, they were focused on sending me abroad, actually in Great Britain, where you came from, to learn languages. That's why now I'm speaking few languages, and I understood being a child that world is so diverse, so different, because every culture, every nationality has a different approach, a different background. And this is fascinating because every person I met since childhood impressed me. They brought value into my life. So I understood that quite early. And when I was um, more adult, let's say, and I had to go to the university, actually, I listened to my parents because my father was quite insistent businessman, and I decided to go to the university for still relationships, but diplomatic relationships, because he has seen me as an economist, person who will inherit the family business. And I wasn't that type of person. So I put my diploma on the table and said, that's my way to do it. I got the best marks, but I want to go on my own journey, as you said before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where my journey started actually. After university, I got into a very bad marriage, and that's where I understood from opposite what does it mean to be in unhealthy relationship. I got out of there very fast after 9 months, and I started to study psychology, and I started to dive into psychology, my own journey, and to actually to be passionate about that professionally. After I started to learn numerology, and that was already through the recommendation of my father, because I understood the numbers through economic education, but I never was passionate about business itself. So I kind of combined spirituality with numbers, which brought me to astrology and traveling the world and working with people, because whatever I touched, I couldn't stop being curious about the subject, and I started to be professional. I started to be certified. So I got later on my master degree in psychology. I was certified for astropsychology, for numerology, for Reiki, for Theta healing. And I kind of got a lot of extra education because my second master's in psychology. And that was all useful for people in my one-on-one work up to now, because I still do counseling, working with singles and couples here in the United States and all over the world, plus the app itself, most of all, that you mentioned before.
Yeah, and you touch upon the journey, the journey when you do travel the world is unique, and that's exactly why. I came from England to be in America. I traveled over 3,000 miles away, and I saw the difference. I've been other places as well, but and so I've experienced those lifestyles. But the point is, it's here on the head. Different cultures, different people, different backgrounds, and I'm not in any way saying it's a bad thing because everyone has the same personal approach to life. Everyone has a journey, no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're wise enough, you're always learning because that's what your soul and your body, as a vessel of your soul, is here for to learn from every single person, situation, country, and
Mm,
circumstances.
yeah, and the ethos I've started taking, since growing on the podcast, you heard how I've said it's over 160 episodes now. Originally, and I still keep this main ethos, but I usually use the hashtag share a wise word or two. But over the last few podcasts, about the last 10, 15 podcasts, I'm using the ethos which is amuse, educate, observe. No, amuse, educate, inspire, observe, and understand.
Yeah,
And the reason I use that is because not everyone uses the vowels. In the alphabet, you got A, E, I, O, U for vowels. No one hardly uses those. So why not use them in a resourceful way? So you amuse people, you educate people, you inspire people, you observe people, and you understand. And I think those are five fundamentals that everyone should have on a journey.
I think you touched a very important point, which is understanding, because I speak about that in my counseling career and on my podcast as well, all over the place. That understanding, you can't understand yourself if you don't know yourself, if you don't accept all shades of yourself,
Mm,
whatever you are. So understanding, and people want to be understood, because they want to be accepted and appreciated as they are, and without understanding, it's impossible.
yes. And then you got to have fun. You can't always be serious. You got to be learning. It's the education. You inspire by listening to people around you. You observe by watching how those people are. So it does touch, from the understanding. You do see where it backtracks on the alpha letters I mentioned.
Absolutely, yes.
So going into how you develop yourself, you said you've been all over the place, and like I said, I don't generally don't have a script, so this is just me off the cuff asking. But did you often found it difficult to be in these places, or did you adapt to it because you just found it challenging in a way that you felt comfortable?
You mean living or traveling the world for spiritual growth,
Yeah,
like retreats, track
spiritually. Yeah.
spiritually? So I started my spiritual traveling around 26, 27 when I actually moved to France, and I had an opportunity to be in the center of everything. So it was easier to travel kind of, or maybe my just soul, that was the right moment to start doing things like that. I had few mentors. Unfortunately, few of them are gone already. They were unbelievable. And one of them, it was Reiki master, with whom I traveled the world. And by that time, we didn't have war within our country. So I traveled a lot to Ural Mountains. And those retreats, they were based on silence, where you're just sitting and you're so relaxed and you're so connected to the nature. And it feels like you're doing nothing, and mixed with some theory a little bit. but practical exercises, they were all around the right breathing and silence. And when you come back, you understand afterwards that your life is a total change because your attitude to the circumstances and people is a total change. As well, when I've been with him actually to Sri Lanka, to Bali. I've been on my own, and that was, it was different. I realized that every part of the world has their level of energy. If you think about your spiritual body, you have energetic center of your movement around your belly. You have your soul center. You have your mind center. So if we talk about America, it's probably all about money, and because people are driven by idea, by working, they're very active. If you go to Bali, it's more about your soul because you're healing your soul. Even then, on Bali, I was on my own. And in Bali, for people who are listening to us and never been, at least one time in your life, you should go there if you need a total change and reprogramming. Why? Because it ruins everything you planned before. I was a controlling personality, not over the destiny of the other people, but for myself. And when I came to Bali, whatever I planned, I realized I wanted to go to do something at 8 o'clock, 15 minutes, and it ruined me. I don't know, there was something because of nature or I was stuck in traffic. So Bali teaches you to lose your control, to embrace your personality, to embrace yourself and whatever God gives you, whatever universe is bringing to you, to your hands. Speaking about Tenerife, Portugal, I've done such a crazy retreats like ayahuasca. I had that experience too. I'm proud that I had it, but I wouldn't come back for now for sure because it's a different approach. Like it's definitely a different approach. It's not for everybody. I wouldn't recommend it to every single person to try that type of stuff. But I did little touch of everything to find myself. And right now I'm very happy to bring on my knowledge to the app and people while speaking on the podcast.
Yeah. And now going into, because obviously the bio you sent me includes everything you're doing, and I like this what you've been developing as well. And I'm going to call the podcast after what we're going to talk about now. But you started Gemini Near Me, the app for called Gemini Near Me, which is a new era, and this is me reading it again. This is the only time I do read it. A new era in self-love and relationship intelligence. And
Yeah.
as a co-founder of that, alongside Ken Wood, you designed the app to support singles and couples in embracing self-love and nurturing healthy relationships. So combining the advanced technology that's out there, I would imagine that is a very current one as well, with timeless wisdom. Gemini Near Me provides tools for self-awareness, manifestation, and emotional intelligence. Just hearing that, it's just got everything, if you can't do something in person, have something that's on your phone, because most people nowadays are on their phone or on their tablet. What they doing? They looking at ways of making themselves feel better because that's what they rely on. So what do? You produce an app. And this app, can you tell us about it?
Yeah, thank you so much. That's my little baby, just brand new app that is actually summarizing everything I brought to life through my own experience, my own journey, and through counseling career and all extra education and spiritual retreats. Why? Because working with people for 12 years and with astrological or without astrological approach, everybody who reached out to me. Sooner or later, the challenge was brought up to this lack of self-love. Whether you are not confident, whether you don't know how to set up your boundaries with your relatives, whether you doubt which boyfriend to choose or which outfit to wear tonight, or which food do you want to eat, or what kind of salary you deserve, or what kind of healthy or unhealthy relationship you're ready to go to. It's all about self-love and self-understanding, as we mentioned before. That's why the difference of this app is because the base of it is self-love, not from narcissistic or egoistic point of view, from the point of view of self-love, self-respect, self-acceptance, understanding, and self-knowledge, of course. The revolutionary feature that I just brought it up to it, and actually it was my dream for years to put all those things together. Since I met my husband, he gave me this opportunity because he is the founder and he is investing in this app. So I have a huge gratitude to him because I could bring this value to people. You know, I had the knowledge, I had the expertise, and he had an opportunity as a businessman to make my dream come true. But it's not about this. It's about masculine and feminine energy going together. I think that's a perfect combination. And we, with our relationship, because we respect each other very, very much, and we have this full acceptance of each other's personality, even on energetic level, it's a great approach. What do we have within the app? I created the Iryna AI because that's a revolutionary tool with your 24/7 available pocket counselor, which is programmed by me as a relationship specialist, not to give you tips or advices, never ever.
Mm.
We stay away from that, to question you the right things, because all answers are hidden within. Even when I do my work with people, I have two programs dated. It's 1 month for singles, 2 months for couples, because it still involves two people. I give them tools and they say, guys, go on your own. You know everything about yourself. Not because I'm out of tools. I just want people to be independent. I don't want people to be dependent on me, on their mothers, on societal norms or opinions, and so on. I give them tools to live their own lives and to take responsibility on it. So this app combines, besides Iryna AI, that is your 24/7 round the clock counselor. You can talk to it. You had a fight with your girlfriend at 2 o'clock in the morning. You have no mother or father to call. No friend is available. No psychologist is working. And you can talk to Iryna AI, reflecting on your emotions. That's how I programmed it passion. It's not ChatGPT thing. So, and all other tools, whether dream interpretation helps you to actually analyze your subconscious through night dreams. Manifesting journaling with daily prompts help you to go and get your dreams come true and you reach out your goals because they are daily prompts, like based on coaching techniques. So you don't need to spend tons of money on psychologists, on coaches to wait in the line and so on. Astrology and numerology, it's just for people who do believe in astrology. Not everybody does, but I know it's a science. It's still like a forecast outside. So it gives you daily updates. What kind of day astrologically you have? Should you start business together? Or should you wait for another period of time? Other things that we have within, we have daily quotes, motivational quotes, inspirational cards. It's all about to keep you on track. So we have 10 features, that meditations, they're theme meditations, special for singles, special for couples. Maybe you want to attract love, maybe you want to gain confidence, maybe you want to strengthen your bond with a current partner. That's all personalized for you. You feel like it's your own world. The idea that people should start to be passionate about themselves. They should start to be curious about themselves, not about Hollywood stars, not about how much your neighbor is making money and somebody else, they should be start passionate about themselves. That this app is for.
Mm. And you said about being passionate about yourself. That is the key fundamental that people seem to fail in a big way when it comes to self-care because they want to know, like you said, know about next door. They want to know about what's happening down the street. It's not about those particulars. It's about knowing for yourself. But this app,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, it's available on the App Store if you got Apple. I don't know if it's on Android. I would imagine it's on Android, but in fact, it's free to download, I would imagine. But in there's micro purchases that you can upgrade to make your experience a bit better.
We have 7 days free trial. So, but people start to get so intrigued by that because it's your daily support and guide. So, who try, thank God they stayed with us. Again, it's a brand new app. We are available for Apple users, for Android users, all over the place, for United States, for United Kingdom, and European Union. So most of the countries in the world. and for English speakers because this app is in English language. And our price for self-love category is $9.99. It's like $10 a month with a lot of value because you believe me, it's a huge economy when you don't spend money. Even like only astrology costs $250 for birth chart reading, and you don't pay that. You pay just $10 and it's always there for you. And for Smart Together category for couples, it's like $14.95, I guess. So
And it's up to the user to use what they want to spend. So that's what I would say to anyone is do what's comfortable for you. Don't feel obliged, but at the same time, the extras are there if you need them. And I make sure the Gemini near me is listed in the description as well, so people know what it's called.
thank you so much.
No worries. So going into the future, and obviously you've got books and you've got publications, but going into the future, how do you see things going for yourself? Do you see things progressing, or do you find yourself just working on what you're working on now and then thinking, if anything else comes up, I want to work on that, or are you feeling settled in your own self now?
David, thank you for a great question because that's what I'm having a dialogue tete-a-tete with myself right now. Now it's an interesting astrological period. It's retro Venus, retro Mercury, and we're in the middle of two eclipses. So astrologically, this is the time to reflect on your emotions, understand who you are, and how do you proceed in life. Better to avoid the action, but it's good to understand, to get the clear understanding of your future goals. And I was being here in the United States just for 2 years and a half. I was so passionate about the app development. I never was intrigued before so much by IT industry, but now it's era of Aquarius, and niches like YouTube, podcasting, industry, and everything what is like public relationship, social media, it's taking over, and AI definitely. So I hopefully will find myself after I accomplish this project because I have like big ideas about this project Gemini and Ammie, and since it will be available for a huge audience and people will understand the value, I would probably go for the other app development because I want to bring through my books, podcasting, and creations, IT creations, the idea of self-work. I know you presented me as a self-love and relationship expert, which I am, but I'm insisting on self-work. I'm insisting on people to give them tools to become in love with themselves and to become independent, not from their husbands, like, oh, I want to separate myself from my partner. No, from this point of view. We'll never be independent 100%. We still live in societal norms, we are
Mm.
always dependent on something. But to become responsible, to become mature, to become wise. So probably I'll go for another app some other day, continue with book writing for sure, and bringing up my personal podcast because right now I'm the co-host on podcast with two other guys, which are great, absolutely great. But I want to bring my own value for people to be connected.
And I'll make sure I put the link of your podcast as well in the description as well, because people no doubt will want to see your work as well as this interview, because this interview is just a snapshot of what you are. They have to know you. They have to listen to your podcast. They have to see you for so they can see the baseline how it is now. But I want them to go beyond that. I want them to see your journey for you and go to your platform and see your podcast and say, okay, she's this, you know.
Yeah,
And that's one thing I like. When you do get guests and they do podcasts, I like to cross promote as much as possible.
yeah, right now I'm a co-host on Relationship is a Bitch. Sorry for sound brutal on your podcast, not to disrespect you. It's the name, it's our name, because guys, they have a line of podcasts, fame is a bitch and so on and so on. Politics is a bitch. So I'm on the part on relationships is a bitch. I'm proud to be a part of it. And whenever my podcast will come out, my personal one, I will definitely let you know. I appreciate so much. I always love to do cross promotion because I think that people make people. We're here to help each other because that's why universe have so a lot of us, 8 billion people
Hmm.
on the planet.
So, the last thing I always like to end on, and I always like to ask this: inspiration to help others, because people are new to their journey. If you're 20, if you're 40, whatever age you are, people are always going on a journey. But what would you say to people to inspire them to move forward in their journey, to help them feel motivated?
Well, there are definitely two categories of people who are happy with their lives and who are not. So I would probably to apply for those who are happy, appreciation is the key to keep going. People who are not happy still appreciate because if you would reflect on everything you have, whether it's your body, not everybody blessed to be healthy, whether it's your brain working great, because not everybody is mentally healthy. Things, if you can just open a book and write down what you are blessed for right now, maybe they're family members, maybe you have your gift. Concentrate, first of all, on appreciation, things and people you have in your life and opportunities. You will discover opportunities then. Second, understand that life, at least what we remember, I'm not talking about past regression and karmic reincarnations, what we remember is once. So use it wisely. Appreciate every second and concentrate on your mission or calling, because universe, God, creator, sent you here to serve Him, and through this work, He's given you everything. What are your desires? And it's no matter you're dreaming about love, you're about dreaming new home or brand new car. Believe me, this is an interest of universe to give you all other tools and toys to play with if you really serve the planet. And it's no matter how much money you have and no matter how many opportunities you have, you can sit at home, open up your podcast and share your journey. So don't lose time, disclose your gift, appreciate whatever you have, and just do it. Just do it. Don't wait, because one day you will regret that you didn't start doing it.
Yeah, and just before we finish, that's why at the end of this podcast there is two amazing people who are sharing their journey. One's an author about for children's books, and one's an author, a poet. But both are up and coming people who are inspirational. And for those listening, or watching, there is the description of their work as well in the description. But it just shows anyone can do anything. If you're a poet, you can be a poet. If you're an author, you can be an author. If you want to be a podcast host, you can be a podcast host.
Everybody has a gift. That's how we came on this planet, to discover this gift. That's why people should appreciate their uniqueness and not try to be somebody else. That's probably my another inspirational thing.
I agree with that. And on that, I'd like to say thank you for sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you, David. It was amazing. It's so proud to be your guest and to be invited.
Thank you. Our thanks to our guest for a wonderful journey. And now a couple of messages to share with you.
Hello, I am Ammie Harrison. I'm the author of the book Feline Warrior Part 1 and Part 2, a fictional story that is written in a poetic format that is based on real-life events that could happen to anyone and intended only for relatable purposes. This story claws into Catgirl's past abuse. Catgirl is human and part feline, but truly a warrior who can handle anything because she is strong and fierce. She has been taken advantage of for far too long. Join her on her journey as she reaches freedom. Here are some poems from Feline Warrior. Tears flow. I no longer know what to do. I am no longer who I once was, and it is because I made a choice to use my voice, and that is okay, because what I had to say was true, unlike me and you. Now I see. I am free. I am me. I am Catgirl. Ultimately, be you. Always stay true. Do what you want to do, because every day is made new. If you want to read more, visit the link in the description. Meow at you later!
Music by Erica R. from Pixar Bay.
By Tim Parsons. The narrator is Kate Barton. Director and producer, Darren Street. Tim Parsons would like to thank family and friends for their support with the paramedic Chris venture. The series is dedicated to the memory of his father, Reverend David Parsons. Copyright Tim Parsons 2020, all rights reserved. Unauthorized use, copying or sharing of this audiobook is strictly prohibited. This has been a Voice Reel studio production for Tim Parsons.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I've just been listening to the Paramedic Chris children's books on audio again, and I just love it because they've given a tribute in one of them to my dad as well, who passed away a few years ago. I love audio books, and it's great to walk around, and it's great to sit at the computer, if you're out jogging or wherever, to listen to them as well. All 4 of the Paramedic Chris children's books are available on audio book from Amazon. Go and take a listen to them. You won't be disappointed. You'll hear what happens when a community pulls together and supports one another. The best thing is to pop over to my website, paramedicchriskidsbooks.org, and you'll see the links on the shop page. Keep safe, everyone, and thank you for being you.
The Journey podcast explores stories of personal growth, challenges, and life-changing moments. Each episode dives into unique experiences, offering insights and inspiration for listeners navigating their own paths. I believe everyone has a story worth sharing. If you'd like to share your journey with David and others, email your story to wisewords1983@reborn.com, and it may be featured in a future episode.